y'all. Welcome to the Suburban Stitcher podcast. My name is Diane, and today is September 8th, 2017. It's a Friday afternoon. I'm coming to you from Richmond, Texas, which is outside of Houston. I live here with my husband and my 2 boys and a dog, and I do everything here. I'm a yarn dyer and a bag maker and a podcaster, obviously. And that's what I do full time. So I am just so excited that you're here spending time with me today. I am so grateful. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. If you want to know where you can find me on the internet, I am DBB Stitch on Ravelry and Suburban Stitcher on Instagram. That's the 2 places that you can find me most frequently. Really the only places on the internet. I do now have a Facebook page for Suburban Stitcher. Technically, I think I started it, updated it once, and haven't touched it in 2 weeks, but it's been a crazy 2 weeks. But I would love it if you wanted to go over there and check out the Facebook page. I will do my very best to have updates and everything over there. If you'd like to connect with people as well, that's a great place to do so. The other thing that I would like to ask for you to do is on YouTube. If you are watching me on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe. You can hit that thumbs up button to show that you liked this episode and all episodes. And then if you want to leave a comment as well, all of that helps other people find my podcast. So I really do appreciate it. I am super close to getting kind of to the next thousands. I think I'm pretty close to 4,000 subscribers, and that would just be so exciting to get there, right? I know I still have a lot of people that watch me on iTunes as well, so you can find me on iTunes and on YouTube. I think that is all of the information. Gosh, I haven't done that full explanation in quite a while. Show notes can be found on suburbanstitcher.com, and you can also find links to my Etsy shop, to Ravelry, to all sorts of things there. Administration, I have closed the finished object thread for the around your neck cal. That cal is over. We had tons and tons and tons of entries. I'll be going through during the next week or so and tallying up those points and awarding prizes. If you participated, thank you so much for doing so. If you sponsored by giving prizes and things like that, thank you so much. I can't think of anything else. I'm looking at this yarn over here, and I did think of something else. I personally haven't started it yet, but there are several of us that will be knitting for the next few months. We will be knitting either a breathing space or any striped sweater by Vera Valimaki. Whips are allowed, and you can talk about your project in the Ravelry group as well. So and that's just a casual knit along, nothing official, nothing for prizes or anything like that. Just fun and camaraderie. So let's start with finished objects this week. I have one finished object. It is a pair of socks. I finally finished, there are 2. I finally finished my Holly Jolly socks. This is obviously a little pair of shorty socks that I knit out of my yarn, Suburban Stitcher yarn, in the Holly Jolly colorway is the speckle, and this cuff was just a solid green cuff. Super fun, really just a great fun colorway that'll be coming back this year for the holidays. I don't know exactly how much I used, but I didn't really use a pattern officially either. Oddly enough, I knit these, one is toe up and one is cuff down. So I can't really even give you more details than that. Both of them have a fish lips kiss heel. But that is it. They fit quite nicely and will be great to wear when it gets a little bit closer to Christmas. Because even during Christmas time, we have weather in the 80s here, or the 70s, which is sometimes not big wool sock weather. Oh well. So that is my only finished objects this week. I have I take that back. I finished a shawl that I cannot show you because it was a test knit. But that test knit that was taking all my knitting time is now done, and you'll see it sometime. I have been working on another pair of socks. These are my Je T'aime, that's right, Je T'aime colorway by Mustache Yarn. Let me get a sock blocker. This one is my small one, so per usual, it will not look quite right, but you'll get an idea. So here's the first sock that's been done since sometime this spring. It's a Mustache yarn for the main color, and then I used a skein of yarn from Colorful Eclectic that she sent me for review that I love in this kind of bright hot pink colorway. I just popped it in there so that the stripe sequence would be continuous. And this is, again, a Fish Lips Kiss heel. So I do a Turkish cast on for 16 stitches, increase every other round up to 32 stitches on each needle, so 64 stitches total. And then I knit up to the Fish Lips Kiss heel, put that in here, and then keep knitting up. And I think that ribbing is about 20 rounds approximately. So again, that one's been done for a little while. And the second one, when I picked it up a week or so ago, it was maybe here. And I have gone all the way up. I have put in the heel, and now I'm working on the leg. So I am maybe, I don't know, maybe almost 10 rounds past the heel, and then I think I have to get to 80 rounds total for this leg is what my notes said. And then the cuff, and then I'm done. So this is kind of my go-to sock at this point so that I can finish it up. But I'm just kind of zooming along on this one. It's going great. The knitting mojo has kind of ebbed and flowed over the last couple of weeks, as you probably can understand. We'll talk a little bit more about all of that a little bit later. But yes, my mojo has been up and down. The last thing that I worked on, and really, again, not so much, but it got a little bit of attention, is my... Oh, and you know what? I just thought of something else that I worked on that I don't have with me. I sure don't have it with me. Maybe I do. We'll have to see. Anyway, I did work on this as recently as last night and at knit night this week. This is my Sunset Highway sweater. So I'm still working on the colorwork section, just a little bit further down. The colors that I'm using are Coal and Tainted Love. And I'm feeling pretty decent about my floats. I don't necessarily know why people show you them from the back, but mine look okay. Not perfect, but not awful. So that's that. And again, my theory on this is if you never practice it and if you never try the big hard projects, then you're never going to get better at the big hard projects because you've never done them. So that's what I'm doing. I am using Suburban Stitcher yarn for this. Like I said, Coal and Tainted Love. And the other colorways that I will be using are Spanish moss. I may need to take this out. This is getting kind of beat up looking. Spanish moss. And the main body of the sweater will be in 2 a.m. Kisses, which is sort of a lavender gray color. So that is that. Going along quite well. I think I have increased up to the maximum number of stitches that this needs to be, which is interesting because this looks so small. I did not gauge swatch. I need to put this on bigger needles to see. I mean, it clearly is going to go over my head here. But it would be interesting to see how this is falling as far as like on my body. So I have no clue. And this is all living in a fat squirrel bag that I love. So that is that. Like I said, I didn't have a whole lot of knitting mojo. I did, you know, I'm going to open up this drawer. I'm going to bend out of screen for just a moment because yes, it is here. I did knit a little bit on my, I want to call them my narwhal socks only because this marker is on them, but this is out of Predictability. I think I finished the heels since last time and I'm just working up the lace pattern. This is At the Vicarage by Olivia Villarreal. And it's my Predictability colorway on glitter sock. So I worked on that. And then I also got all the way almost done with the first sock. I'm on the ribbing. This is a sock for Jack. I can't remember if I've showed this on the podcast or not. I'm sure I must have, but this yarn is Kirby Werby from the first time back a while back when she was dyeing yarn a few years ago. And this colorway is called, I believe it's called Weaselbird. I don't have it with me, but I'm almost positive that it's called Weaselbird. And my Shark Week Sucra miniatures. So I'm just barely started the ribbing on this one. So I'll finish that and then I'll have the first sock tube done, which will be great. But I'm so close on that other Je T'aime sock that I'm feeling like I really want to get that one done. I spent several hours on the Saturday, kind of during Hurricane Harvey, the first Saturday. So I guess it made landfall Friday night into Saturday. And then we were still at home. We had not evacuated yet that Saturday evening. And I got on the chat group with some of my knitting friends and had them help me determine which of my projects I could rip out and not keep on the needles, and which ones I needed to keep on the needles, because I was just getting to be paralyzed by the number of works in progress that I had going, and some things just had not been worked on in so long that they needed to be done and called. And so I finally decided to do that, and I had their help, and that was great. That was great help, because then I didn't have to make the decisions all on my own. So this week for Hello Lovelies, I have 3 different businesses that I have things from. For the first half of the year, if you'll remember, I was participating in the Desert Vista Dye Works monthly sock knit along, and for participating in 3 months, I received like January through March, and completing those, I got a 30% off of your next order coupon for her shop, and I used that to purchase this skein of yarn called This Is It, and it's a Michael Jackson inspired colorway, which is black, gray, and rainbows, self-striping on a glitter sock. And then for finishing the first 6 months, I received a free skein of yarn, and I picked the colorway Big Magic. And it is pinks and purples and pretty girly colors on Sparkle. So no surprise really with either one of these colorways. So those came in, one free and one 30% off, which was a great, always great. The next skein of yarn I purchased to support my beautiful, lovely friend Michelle from Studio in the Green. She has started dyeing yarn, and this colorway just stopped me in my tracks when I saw it. So here it is. It is called Painting Flowers on the Wall. Just so many colors on that. I absolutely love it. And this is on her sock blend, which is 2-ply, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And I love this. I cannot wait. Look at all the speckles. I cannot wait to knit something out of it. Super fun. I love yarns like this, and for some reason my eye just doesn't make bright, fun colors like this when I dye yarn myself. So I extra appreciate dyers that can do this fun pop of color. Oh my gosh, this right here just slays me. I absolutely love it. And then the last thing I got is an enamel pin. This is from Maker Valley. And it is a patchwork pineapple. Maker Valley. And yep, there's their information. See if that'll focus. There we go. So that is what came in, and it's just all bright, my favorite colors, bright colors, and a fun enamel pin. Pinks and brights and rainbows, which was perfect for this week. I needed all the rainbows after the storm, literally. So that is it for Hello Lovelies as well. Okay, so shop news. I do want to talk about shop news for sure. And then I want to say this here. If you are wanting to hear a little bit about Hurricane Harvey and what I'm doing and how we did and fared the storm as a family and a business and everything, that's going to be at the very, very end because of how it relates to shop news. So if you want to hear that, then fast forward maybe a little bit, maybe a couple minutes, so that you don't see all the other yarn. But I feel like that's just maybe the best way to do this. Okay, so I just added some yarn in the shop today, and most of this is still in there. So I just want to go ahead and show it. I have 3 colorways that I really concentrated on adding back into the shop this week because they are fan favorites, they get requested a lot, and I wanted to get them back in stock. So I have Cinder on sock, DK, and mini skeins. And I have sweater quantities in DK, or a sweater quantity in DK. I have Predictability in, here's 2 of them. DK is on the top, sock is on the bottom, and I also have it in mini skeins. The DK is, there's a sweater quantity of that as well. And here's the Cinder on DK. I have Spanish Moss, was requested a bunch. So I dyed that up on 4 different bases. I have it on DK right here. not a sweater quantity, but a couple of skeins. I have it on sock, and I have it on glitter sock, as well as some mini skeins. I have a Playday colorway this week, which if you are new to the show or to my shop, Playdays are me experimenting with new colors or new techniques, or just using leftovers, and whatever comes out, comes out. It is 100% not repeatable. So if you love it, it's going to be, you're going to have to snap it up quick because it will never be repeated again. But I have this Playday that is sort of this golden brown color with pops of a charcoaly, not charcoal, a kind of espresso brown-ish color on there, and then some reddish purple pops. I have it on glitter, and I have some on sock as well for this. So that's it for shop update. Oh, I do have one skein of March hare that went in the shop as well on glitter sock. And the last thing that I want to talk about is that sort of shop / family post-hurricane update. First, I want to say I literally do not have the words to tell you how grateful I am to all of you and to this community for your thoughts and your prayers and your support, and reaching out to me to see how we were, to check in, everything during the storm. It was a frightening time, to say the least, and it was wonderful to know that you were all holding us up with your thoughts and your prayers, and that is truly one of the only reasons that I didn't go crazy and that I was able to make it through that crazy 8-day period. We are back in our house, in our neighborhood. This is actually day 6 of us being back, day 6 of my neighborhood in recovery. We live in a, I would say, medium-ish sized development in Richmond, Texas, with some smaller homes, which we are in, to some fairly large homes, at least for like normal sized family large, I guess, which again is all relative. But for this area, kind of medium to large sized homes, not crazy palatial things. Anyway, and last year in the flooding, before we when we thought we were going to move and then we didn't, there were 35 homes in our neighborhood that flooded. 35, which is a huge number. This year in the floods, with just about a half a foot higher on the river, 1/2 a foot higher, and there were over 160 homes have flooded in our neighborhood. It is a tragedy. It is so sad. It is frightening. It is everything. It's so surreal, and it's still happening. The cleanup is still happening. The everything is still needed and just still happening here. We did not completely escape unscathed. We had some roof damage that caused some roof leaking, and we had to rip out the carpet in my son's bedroom, one of their bedrooms. We're waiting on insurance and adjusters and contractors to come look and see what we need to have done and how much more we have to rip out and what we have to repair. But we are feeling so fortunate to have as little damage as we do, even though it is a headache to have to deal with, and we're working around it. But it is such a blessing to have as little to deal with as we do. So yeah, we're blessed. We are so fortunate. Thank you all. I just can't say thank you enough. I've had several people ask how they can donate. If you want to donate, we have lots of families in our neighborhood that need lots of things. If you are just, wanting to do something that can immediately affect a family, then there are a couple of things that I'm doing. One is if you want, if there is an interest for you, then I have had several people contact me, and they are mailing like gift cards or, Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, big box stores, to be able to go get supplies and then to be able to start building their life again. That's something that certainly I can be the middleman to go pass it to a family. The other thing that I'm doing is I have dyed up the word that is popping into my head right now is commemorative, which sounds ridiculous, but sort of like a memorial / really honestly, it was like a therapy skein for me. Like I needed to process all of this into a skein of yarn and make something sort of beautiful out of a crazy circumstance. And I am going to be donating $10 from the sale of every skein of this yarn to my local county nonprofit organization that donates money to families of fallen first responders. They also donate money for scholarships for the children of these first responders, and then promoting just education and awareness about, to supporting police officers and firefighters and sheriff and the like. It is specific for my county in outside of Houston. I live in Fort Bend County, and so it is. It's called Behind the Badge Charities. And so $10 from the sale of every single skein will be going to Behind the Badge. The reason I picked them is the support that we got from every single level of safety, first responder organization here in our neighborhood before, during, and after the storm has been overwhelming. We've had sheriffs literally knocking on our door, asking if we needed help evacuating, to, during the storm, pulling people out in boats that waited too late or that couldn't go earlier and that needed help evacuating, to now they're patrolling our neighborhoods to help prevent looting, to help prevent crime. It's overwhelming, the support that we've gotten. And yes, it's their job to do so, but they are going above and beyond, and they're exhausted just like we are. So I'm just really passionate about supporting the people that keep us safe. And so that is who I am donating to. And if you feel passionate about that cause as well, then I would love for you to purchase one of these skeins of yarn, and that I'm quite proud of. So this is the yarn. It is a blue with kind of these mossy, scummy green parts as well, and then with speckles that are dark green and brown and all sorts of different colors. Reds. So this skein is called River's Edge. River's Edge is the name of the development that I live in. And it is also because we live on the river's edge. We literally live on the edge of the river here. And the floodwater did not look this pretty. I wish it did. But like I said, this was sort of making something beautiful and sort of my way of dealing with coming home to all of this crazy and all of the life turned upside down and helping everyone. So if you are liking this cause and want to support me and support my local first responders by purchasing a skein of what I think is some beautiful yarn, then I would love to sell it to you. This will be going up either Saturday or Sunday, but I will put it all on Instagram and social media, so you'll know exactly when it goes live. Okay, so I think that that's it for this week. It's really a pretty short show, but I just wanted to check in, say thank y'all so much, and I will see you very soon. Bye, guys. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Suburban Stitcher podcast. My name is Diane, and today is August